Hey Northbrook, just wanted to share a quick update. Excited to gather, well, not gather, excited to be in your homes, excited to kind of share this experience again together on Sundays. It was encouraging to launch last Sunday. Definitely weird for sure, definitely not how any of us anticipated, but it was an encouraging time, and it was encouraging to hear from so many of you and the encouragement that God brought to you during that time. And it was encouraging to have a lot of people join us. We don't know who. It's really weird to like launch and not know who showed up. In a sense, we can see that there was 350 some odd views, but we don't know who that is or to some extent what that even means. But we're excited to just continue to have that shared experience together on Sundays, and we are actually going to look at some things that we can do to capture a little bit more clearly who's coming and who's joining us, just so we can know who's around and who wants to know more about Northbrook, and that we could care for you and get to know you. And would you, if we were meeting across the street at Sunset Valley, would you have come and visited, and would we have wanted to connect with you and you wanted to connect with us? So figuring out ways to do that virtually now so people can still get connected, be in community, and care for one another. And so, looking forward to that. Again, feel free to invite people. Feel free to hey, we're going to watch this. We really strongly encourage you to try to watch it on Sundays at 10 a.m. But we also just realize that that's just not going to work for everybody. And so maybe you have another time where you need to watch it. Well, man, I would encourage you to invite people to that time to watch it with you, so you can at least share that experience with them and watch it with friends or neighbors or people that you might normally invite to church. And so this Sunday we're actually going to be on just our website like we were last week. So Northbrook Church .live. I don't know. You can find it on the website. Just go to the internet. It'll be there waiting for you. We're going to be there. Then we're actually going to be on Facebook Live on our Northbrook page. And then we're going to be on YouTube Live as well. There is going to be a little bit of interaction this time, especially in the beginning of the service, and so we encourage you to do that as it makes sense. So again, just one way to kind of interact and have shared experience together. So on whatever format you're kind of watching, just feel free to do that. And then we're really encouraged that so many of you joined community groups. I think we're around 80 adults or so in the midst of all of our community groups. And so it's encouraging for so many of you to hop into those. So many of you had your first meetings and just been heard really encouraging things about that. Even as I say that, I feel a little bit grieved that we're not getting to meet together and in person and launch those in the way that we would hope. But I am, again, just so thankful that we're able to offer each other something and care for one another in that way. And so thankful for that. And so obviously this is a unique time for us to consider being missional and what it looks like for us to be missional. And, for me and Reed and Randy, when this first started to take shape, and this, hopefully you can hear all of the yelling. That's just what life's like right now. But sometimes you just got to press through it. And then, so when this first all started going down, one of the things we just began to pray from the very beginning was, God, hey, lead us to the opportunities that you want us to pursue during this time. And so continue to pray for us in that way. Continue to pray that God would make those known. We're talking to other people, other local pastors, other pastors across the country and the globe and what they're doing. And so we, are excited about some of the opportunities that might come about. So just be praying for us in that way. But then also just consider what you can do. Let us know what you are doing. Maybe you've had an idea. Maybe you've been doing something and it's been really encouraging or really helpful, or people have really benefited from it. Would you share that and let us know that we could be mutually encouraged and learn from each other in that way? But then also just simple things. When you go on a walk, as everybody's going on walks right now, except for right now, because of the weather, but just say hi to everyone you see. Just, there's been neighbors I've met at a safe distance for the first time, because of all of this. And so do that. Maybe even post on your neighborhood page, like, hey, I'd love to know if there's any way I can serve you. Is there any way I can be praying for you? And just see if there's anybody that responds in any way that you can serve and help in that way. And maybe there's things that your community group can even get behind and help support you in. And so, just consider that as you think about using this opportunity to share the gospel through word and deed. And then one of the things I just wanted to share, there's just been a few things, I actually have less time right now, not more time, because of all this that's gone on. It's not like some people are just knocking all kinds of things out. I'm just kind of in my fighting to kind of keep my normal rhythms of reading and, and whatnot. But there's a few books that I've read recently that I just wanted to share with you because I thought they've been really timely in regards to all that's happened. I just finished it on Audible. It's called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. And it's just been a really timely read to help me in this season. To be honest with you, there's been a temptation to for the pace of my life to just do nothing but increase. And this book has been a great reminder to answer that call of Jesus in Matthew 11 when he says, "Come to me, all that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And just to continually answer that call in my life has been really encouraging. So I'd encourage you to consider that book and just even consider that truth. And then also about halfway through The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom. So it's a book I've heard about for a long time. It's an old book. Many of you maybe have read it or at least heard about it. She lives in Holland, part of a Christian family that helps really, she, in a sense, runs this underground ring of connections, helping hide Jewish people and their families from Nazi Germany and getting captured. And it's heart-wrenching. It's so encouraging. And there's just so much going on in that has been really encouraging to me. And it's also just been really good. Obviously, a far different kind of crisis, but a crisis nonetheless. And how she seeks and pursues the Lord in that has been really encouraging. And then even from that book, I've got a helpful little daily thing that I've been doing because another mentor of mine has just encouraged me to really think about transitions in my life right now. Working from home, what's it look like to, stop, go from family to work and go back from work to family and thinking about those kinds of clear transitions that can be helpful. And so I'm just in that book, her dad, he would read a chapter at the same time every morning. He would read a chapter of the Bible in the morning and then a chapter at night. And so I've just been taking the CBR readings, and we'll start off with the New Testament reading in the morning, and then I'll finish with the Old Testament reading at night. And it's just been a good marker for me and my family to know, okay, Daddy's going to work. Okay, now Daddy's back home with us. And so maybe you don't use that as an idea, but think about those transitions and think about that book. It would be a great encouragement to you to get that. And then lastly, man, we've gone through the gamut in regards to sleep in our house. Like, this has been some fun time with our kids. Even we usually let our older ones stay up a little later and we hang out with them, play games with them, and our younger ones go to bed early. But we've had a couple nights where just everybody stayed up and we've done some fun things. And then we realized that's kind of horrible. And I've someone that struggles with sleep a bit anyway, have for the last many years of my life. And so just read a really good chapter of a book on sleep and how important it is, how helpful it is, how important it is for us and just to be honest with you, like acknowledging how God made us. So many of us want to rebel against sleep, and in that, we're rebelling against the very way God has made us to be dependent upon Him. And so there's a lot of practical things there that I'm not going to go into, but I just wanted to give you that to consider. What does it look like to actually embrace the reality that God has made us to sleep and not try to shrink that time, but consider what it means to get a good night's sleep, and in that, acknowledging our dependence upon the God who created us. And so, Northbrook, I love you. I'm so thankful for you. So thankful to be in this with you. It's just, I can't help but say that every time. It just feels so encouraging and yet just so weird that this is what we're doing. But here we are doing this together. And so please know that we don't say we love you flippantly, like we do, and we want to be here for you, we want to care for you. Please let us know if there's any way we can. And we look forward to worshiping together tomorrow.